We're going to hear from the CME Group. So please welcome Candice from CME Group to the stage. Absolutely.
All right. Well, it's such a pleasure to be here this morning. My name's Candice Lucas, and all right, there are my slides. All right, actually, can we go? Okay, great. You know what? Apologies, I need the clicker. Thank you. I was too excited to come to talk to you. I just forgot this part. All right, so like I said, I'm Candice Lucas. I'm with the CME Group, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So I've been there about 15 years, managing a variety of products, but I'm originally from a small town. I attended an agricultural college. Mine just happened to be a little bit down the road from North Dakota State, so I went to Kansas State. So I don't know if we've got any other Wildcats in the room. And this slide is for the lawyers. All right, so now we can get into it. So today I'm going to talk about some of the new products that CME Group has been rolling out on our agricultural side. Really, I'm going to be focusing on our new spring wheat contract, which is deliverable not just in Minneapolis, Duluth, St. Paul, but also in the Red River Valley. So we really wanted to make it aware to many of you in the room, and we thought that would be of interest since we're in Fargo. We know that there are choices when it comes to hedging spring wheat. We think there's a fantastic opportunity for people to take a look at CME Group, and we wanted to just draw your attention to what some of those advantages are when it comes to hedging spring wheat at CME Group. So let's get into it. So this might be a little bit hard to read, but the point I'm trying to make here is that CME Group has a portfolio of wheat products. You're already familiar with our Chicago SRW contract, our Kansas City HRW contract, and most recently, we now have a new hard red spring wheat contract. So we have a portfolio of wheat available to be traded on one platform through one clearinghouse, one exchange. And there's a lot of benefits that come with that when you're at one place. Just to give you a little bit of an example, even though hard red spring wheat is relatively new for us, we've seen some really great volumes even just this last week. So this was from a week ago, last week, but yesterday we traded 69,000 contracts for our new spring wheat contract. So we are seeing some good traction already there. So I know there's a lot of words, don't get lost here. One of those benefits of having all of our wheat together, one exchange, one clearinghouse, one platform, is that we offer something called implied intercommodity spreads. No, that's a lot of words. What that means is a lot of people, when they trade wheat, it's a relative value trade. They might be trading Kansas City wheat versus spring wheat, or they might be trading Kansas City wheat versus Chicago wheat. We offer a way on Globex for people to seamlessly trade those wheat spreads together. So what this really means is, let's say somebody enters in that spread price on our engine, we can imply out those leg prices, or if people are entering in those outright leg prices, we can imply in the spread price. And so that makes it very seamlessly, whether somebody is a spread trader or an outright trader, to trade with each other, and it just increases liquidity. So there's a great benefit to having everything on one platform. And to build onto that, because you have all of your wheat in one place through one exchange, one clearinghouse, we can offer something called margin spread credits. So we know that capital is very constrained right now. We know that that really matters to your bottom line, and so we can offer 45 to 50% margin spread credits. So rather than paying full margin for spring wheat and Kansas City wheat, people can pay a 45% spread credit, and that can really save up to, as far as with this example, about $1,900 if they're trading spring wheat versus Kansas City, or about $1,700 if they're trading spring wheat versus Chicago. So that's significant. That's just on one spread. I also want to share our excellence in options. So we know that options are very important to the spring wheat market participants, and it's something that we think deserves to be grown. This is an example of how we grew our Kansas City wheat when it joined the CME Group portfolio. That blue represents futures, and the red represents options. And so we grew options at a 19% compounded annual growth rate over that 12 years since Kansas City Wheat joined us. And even though hard red spring is still very new for us, our options open interest is growing. And we really attribute that to having screen presence, market makers there, and we have a global command center that provides option settlement. And finally, I think something that's really relevant to many of you who have elevators in this room is that we have not only delivery points in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, but also the Red River Valley. So if you think north to the Canadian border, about south to Fargo, and about 60 miles east and west of that North Dakota-Minnesota border, if you're in that territory, we are really interested in looking for more regular facilities, because when you are a deliverable facility, you have more optionality in your hedging and in your pricing decisions. So I know we could talk a lot more about things like our new 10-ton fertilizer contract or our cash-settled microgreen and oilseed contracts. So we actually have a table out there. We'd love to talk with people more, but I am out of time and I don't want to get the hook. So we really appreciate the time, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the conference with Bushel. So thank you.